In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Thank you for tuning in to Blerd's Eye View, Ohio's Nerd Threesome you'd actually like. And if you're watching us right now, don't forget to hit that notification bell on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Twitch, Blerd's Eye View 1, and you'll get the latest in geek news as only Blerd can do it anywhere. But tonight, we got some special guests. First up, we have activist, actress, and all-around Blerd, Traci Carr. What's going on, Traci?
Hey everyone.
How's it going?
Good.
I appreciate you coming on.
Okay.
Great, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I caught you earlier before, and we've been chatting back and forth, and I'm loving her energy. I love what she's about. We're going to get all into it, but we got another special guest host with us tonight. He's family. I don't even want to say it's a special. It's baby Montel, baby.
Montel.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's really here. Oh my gosh! Hey,
what is going on, brother? Man, what's happening?
My man, what is going on? We got this lovely lady over here. This amazing
yes.
actor. This acting two different words doing the same thing. This is the same person.
It's so much. I don't know where all these Jane of Trades come from, but I'm here for it. I love for it, and I live for it.
I got another question.
Oh my. Okay, you know what? We are not gonna have this. Okay, this was only supposed to be 3 people, and you just bringing on anybody you want. Okay,
you know how the party goes, man. What's been going on with everybody? How's everybody been doing this past week?
Oh man, ladies first, by all means.
It's been a fantastic week. I had a fantastic day. There's new developments with the show that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
I like that. I like the premise behind that.
I'm excited to talk about that. And yeah, just celebrating Pride, celebrating, getting ready to organize things for Pride, getting ready to organize things for Juneteenth. It's my birthday month. So
you just it's a trifecta for you.
Yeah, it's all there for me. So I'm ready to go. So
we are so loaded full of surprises. It's like I'm not ready for this.
It's like, but like I said, like me and Traci been chatting back and forth, and thanks to Montel, he was like, "You need to get her on," and I'm like, "You ain't saying nothing." I shot right over and shot her a message, and then me and her been chatting back and forth, and like I said earlier, I love this woman's energy. I love what she's bringing. I love the positivity. I love where she stands on. I love the hill that she's standing on. And if anybody knows me, I'm the man on the wall. I'm the host of all, and apparently I've been told today I'm the voice of the world. So
well, you keep doing these voiceover challenges, like, hey, we're gonna do another voiceover challenge. All right, you got 2 minutes to be popular. I'm sitting there going, bro, I ain't even got enough work and I can't even keep up with this cat. What the hand sandwich?
I do what I do.
You do
like Jamie Foxx. I do what I do, baby. I don't know.
I ain't even mad at you though, because I sit there and go, my brother, I'm so proud of him.
I love seeing our people win, and that's all I've been seeing lately. And I'm just like, I if you could see my face when I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, and another one. I feel like DJ Khaled, and another one, and another one. What's going on with you, Montel? How your week been going, baby?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's been an interesting week for the most part because I think this is the week where a lot of people are exercising outreach and realizing that they're not alone. So I've had people that I haven't talked to in months and in years reaching out to me to say, hey, hi, hello, how's it going with you? You know, and that makes a difference. And
it does.
We unfortunately,
especially coming out of May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month, as well as Black Friday, which I was help celebrating and showcasing all these beautiful, magical people, POC creatives. It was just
folk. What? Yeah, they were. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm gonna say it right now. I'm so happy to be melanated because Black folks show out. They know how to step into a room and make everybody go, "Who the hell is that? I want to know their name."
And here's the thing: I have Jasmine coming on next week for the season finale.
Oh Lord. Okay. See.
And Lord Strife.
Oh. See, I know I can't get in on this one, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I will be watching.
Yes, it was. Me and her have been chatting back and forth, and when I tell you, you've seen my posts that I've made for it. It was just like. Yes. There's really no other words to say like what she's done for the Blerd community. Something is like really so pure and magical and innocent and just free. And it was during Mental Health Awareness Month. It was during Black Fae Day. It was during Black Mermaid.
Yes.
And it was just she was on HNIC's show. She was on with Kurt, and he attended their picnic. The Black Fae Day picnic.
Yeah, I saw that. Everybody was everybody was showing out.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous to see.
He said it was something to behold, to sit back and watch Black boy joy, Black girl magic, just free, no questions asked. And I'm here for that. Before we get too far into it, we got some stuff that dropped around. You know me, I'm the man on the wall.
Here we go.
So, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will be dropping on Disney Plus January 22nd.
January?
Not January. I'm sorry, June.
Okay, look. I want to see it before I turn 54. You're not gonna do this to me, okay?
I was like January. I don't know where
money in this cotton picking movie.
Yeah, look, this I've seen it twice in the theaters due to time restriction. So, but it's once again.
Are you gonna?
Yeah.
Chef magnifique,
it's just
it was magical.
Yes, it was. As much of everything they've been pumping out, and I'm here for it, and I'm just like, good. I get to really break it down now, and see things and whatever else. But, anybody's familiar with Walter Hamada?
Yes.
Okay, he was the head of DC Films. Well, yes. Since that merger.
You're fired.
What? Yes, the people over that's running Warner Brothers Discovery now have been cleaning house. They have been taking names, cashing checks, and whatever needed to be done, and they've been booting them off to the side. I know who is really happy about that one, and he's been calling for his head on a pike for the longest time, was Ray Fisher.
Yes,
he's really been calling for it, and he kind of like blew the whistle, and I guess people were listening. People were actually listening. It was needed.
It was absolutely needed.
It was something that we were. The cries that was heard is what got us the Snyderverse. Let's just put it that way. And when we seen what we got from that, we're just looking at everybody like, you didn't let this out. You could have done this as a 2-part film and ruled the whole year.
Oh no! See, that would have been too simple because That would have been way too simple, you know. Oh yeah, we could do all Lord of the Rings movies in one shot, bruh. People would have walked out that damn theater, tossing everything at the screen, talking about how much I paid. What? I'm not gonna get those hours back. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, they like
make more money. What?
they yeah, you know.
Heaven
You know, I
forbid.
had to ask the Black Coalition of Geekdom. You know, they were just like,
yo, you could have warned a brother on that one.
I need to take that.
like
this one. I like this one right
here.
Like,
you know, everybody was in on it. They was just like, what?
Yep, that part. And even got Filbert in there. Let's go. You got Filbert in there too.
And then my man was just like,
But see, now that they're cleaning house, they have the opportunity to do what the fans have been asking them to do. Stop worrying about what corporate wants you to do and do something that the fans can get behind and they can galvanize with and feel like that they're a part of something, because Marvel's been doing this for years. They've been making the audience, they've been making the fans a part of what they create. And we've been telling DC, you see what they're doing. It can happen. Another Batman movie. Okay.
Yeah. Well, see, they actually, what'd you say, Tracy?
No, I was gonna say it seems like Marvel has a lot more patience, and like instead of
they have a lot more patience, a lot more money, a lot more.
Yeah, so like you have this like progression of over 10 years to build these characters, to fall in love with these characters, know their arc, like just dumping it all in together. Like everyone's just like, if you don't know these characters, like we all know these characters now.
Yeah.
You're just thrown into this universe and you're just like, okay, well, I know Flash is really fast. Like, he's really fast. Like, let's figure out where everything else.
Now that Warner Brothers Discovery's kind of cleared out the cobwebs for the most part, they put Todd Phillips in charge of the DC film franchise now. Now, if people don't know who Todd Phillips is, let me run down some of his work. Obviously, he's done Joker with Joaquin.
Of course.
He's done Road Trip. He's done Old School. He's done Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. He's done School for Scoundrels, Borat, The Hangover, Due Date, Hangover 2, 3, War Dogs. So that means he's got a nice balance of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all of those, with the exception of Hangover 2 and 3, which, you know, well, really 3. Nobody really cared for 3. But let's face it, it's really hard nowadays to even really pull off good sequels or good prequel or threequels on top of that. So, but
kind of scared about that though.
Yeah. I mean, I like Joker. Actually, I liked all those movies. Like, I love Road Trip. I love Road Trip.
Joker was probably the only one that I could get behind, because and anyone who knows me knows I love comedy, but I love comedy that has a soul, and not for the sake of just trying to make someone laugh with a cheap joke or a slapstick gag or anything like that. And I kind of felt like a lot of those movies, this is my opinion, if you at me, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, say it just like that. It's his opinion.
It's my opinion.
We're not tearing folks aroron here. We don't do that.
We don't.
But you don't Carol screaming my boy Blue for 5 minutes.
That's my boy Blue.
But I grew up around comedy that had story behind it, and it had, it had substance. So you've got someone who's been directing all these movies. Okay, that's fine. People like what you like, but you can't get me into a theater. So now you're on the table. You're about to enter into a realm that should have been explored a long time ago. What are you going to bring us?
Well, so there's an insider.
Ooh,
we don't know a name. We don't know yet. But
Mufasa.
If they do this, they really need to do this. And they said it's not only that, it says if anything, they should go back to individual movies. Unless Michael DeLuca has some kind of plan. They need to get a fucking Superman movie off the ground. And they've already said that that was one character they felt like within the past couple years hasn't been done correctly or hasn't gotten a lot of justice. And I can agree. I liked Man of Steel. I really did. And Batman versus Superman was something totally different. And so I don't know what was going on, but they said if the plan is to have a shared universe, a Henry Cavill led Superman needs to be the focal point. They should scratch everything Superman and basically start fresh with Cavill.
I can get behind that.
Facts.
I can definitely get behind that because I feel like Cavill didn't really get a chance to really shine.
He didn't get a chance to shine.
And honestly, he does look like what Superman should look like. So it's like perfect.
Yeah.
I do have one thing about Man of Steel though. There's just one thing that hurts me. And hopefully it's not spoiling anything, but I mean the film was out.
Oh, it's been a while. If they haven't seen it by now.
Yeah, here's a spoiler. The butler did it. Yeah, the butler did it. There was a butler in the movie?
How his dad died. I don't like how Thomas died.
You know what? Everyone says that.
Yeah,
everyone says that.
Just the fact that like usually when you see him pass, it's something like internal, like a heart attack or stroke.
Exactly.
Something that Superman literally can't fix. Like he can't go fast enough to get him from a tornado. He's like, don't come. It's like, no, I can do this.
Yeah, I was like, there too many people are looking at the tornado. They're not looking at you, Dad.
Yeah.
Like I can zip in there, zip out, and you're like, oh, I got tossed a couple feet or something. I don't know.
Like exactly. But if it's something that's internal, I feel like it teaches Clark a lesson. Like you can't always use your powers to save everyone.
Correct.
Right.
So like
and I got what he was saying, like when he's putting his hand off and he's just like, don't do it. I'm just like, okay, I get it. You're sacrificing yourself still for your kid. But dude, your kid really could have gotten you out of that.
Like, that's very true. I kind of looked at that and said that was a plot point that we all could have ignored. Save your dad, fool.
Yeah, I know. That's usually when they usually like kill him off.
Happy Father's Day.
right. Like look at the guilt you laid on this kid's chest already. He's like, I could have saved my dad. He's gonna ride with that for the rest of his life. Like, you couldn't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I totally agree. But it just came about where like that's the only thing I have. That's the only thing.
Yeah. So it's that was the thing. Other people was like, oh, he killed Zod. I'm like, look, Superman has killed before. He doesn't make it a habit. And it's something that's happened like decades ago. You know, it was something he realized. And once again, this was a story point. You know, here he is fighting a creature much like himself that is most possibly stronger. And he has no way of stopping him. He's never faced anyone like himself.
Nope.
He's always had to be careful. He was running out of options. He didn't know what else to do.
Exactly.
That was a point of it was a point of desperation.
Now,
so and I think that's what made him. I'm like, that's what that primal scream he let off was like. It was just like he was mad at himself. Everything his father taught him, everything that he's learned to do, felt like it meant nothing at that point.
And that level, at that moment he was more vulnerable because he was in a position he didn't want to be in.
Right.
But he was, and he didn't like the outcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was gonna say this real quick. You know, and Chris, you know, me, you and I talk comics all the time.
Yeah.
So when I saw that moment, I remember back reading Irredeemable by Mark Waid.
Great story.
About a hero who is the most powerful hero on the entire planet, the Plutonian. Until one day he said, "Fuck it, you killed my friend. I don't care about any of y'all." And he just started annihilating everybody. He didn't care. I was like, oh.
That was a great story because it wasn't just the Plutonian flipping sides. It was his arch villain was like, yo, I gotta be the good guy now.
I don't want this job. I don't want it. I don't want this job.
He was like, this was not what I signed up for, but now somebody's got to step up to the plate.
Give me a bank to rob. I don't want this. Okay. I just want money that's not mine. Okay.
It was but great story. I loved Irredeemable. I loved it. That was between that and The Boys. Just between that and The Boys, and at the time when I was getting The Boys, I'm like, is there no bounds to what these people will do? And
bruh. If anyone has not read The Boys, before you watch it, read it. Because
I actually know Derek.
Huh?
I actually know Derek.
Oh my God.
Derek. He's the nicest person you can ever meet in your life. And then you just watch his show and you're just like,
oh, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Between The Boys and Hero Gasm, because I was just like, yo, I was like, I was like, I'll get this in trade because, yo, I wasn't ready for all of that.
None of us.
I was just like, they're depraved. They do some crazy stuff, and then it was like a hedonistic island. Oh, let's see how. Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
the nicest people though. It's always usually the nicest people. Then you like read their art and you're just like, all right, there's
more to this than
out of the left. Make it look at them different when you're at a party or something. Like,
I will never see you the same way again. What?
He's like, remember that time we had that candy? Yeah, you know, you did something with candy in one of your books, and that was not normal. Twix bars don't go there.
I will never see Snickers the same way again.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mortimer. You're an asshole.
Right. The stuff with Tech Night. I was just like, whoa.
No comment. Oh.
I was like, dude.
Part of the reason why my beard is white. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This came honest, y'all. Y'all never seen this. This came honest.
You had a rogue moment from X-Men and the stretch.
Oh my gosh! I was gonna have me a southern accent. I declare, I wasn't truly expecting this to happen. Lord have mercy. What? I look good though.
Oh my God! But that was all of our Blerd news for at least today, because you know I still got Tuesday. You know, but all of that was coming down the pipe like left and right. Who's watching Stranger Things?
Yo,
I haven't started yet. Unfortunately, I've been working.
Amazing. No.
Okay. To be fair, it's not that I don't want to. I've been working 10-hour days all this week because 3 of my coworkers got COVID, so we've been short-staffed.
Oh man.
Okay.
I will be watching it. I will be watching it this weekend, along with watching Doctor Strange again and seeing Top Gun Maverick again.
Check this out. For Stranger Things, it was worth the wait.
Okay.
It was. Okay. When I say first, what was it? First or second episode with the cheerleader? I'll just say that, and I was just like,
yeah, wasn't like every episode like 30 mil or something
like that. And I'm like, you guys made it worth.
Though.
Yeah, I'm like, you made it worth the wait. I know those past 2 years weren't your fault, but good Lord, it was worth the wait.
Sorry, I was going to mention, it's funny how Stranger Things, how folks are saying like movies are like 3 hours long, and some folks don't want to see 3 hour long movies for like 10 hours.
Right. I'm gonna binge watch the entire thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this whole thing. And every episode is like, I think it's like 90 minutes or something, but worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Definitely worth it.
Says the actor is activist, so you know. Absolutely. She's a double actor. Let's go.
Oh my God! But yeah, that was the that in Obi-Wan.
Yes. Yes.
I was told to wait to watch the first 3 episodes. So that is that don't do that. I got ice cream and cake in my kitchen. I'm gonna be ready tonight. Don't do it, okay? Don't do that.
I'm gonna give you 2 people to look out for. Reva. And there's another little person who steals it every time she shows up. And when you see it, you'll be like, that's who he was talking about.
Okay.
That's who he was talking about.
See, now that you've told me that, my friend, I shall find the force a lot less.
Yeah. And shout out to James Earl Jones. He still sounds fantastic.
That man don't have to move. He just put in front of a microphone.
I'm sitting up there trying to emulate him. I'm like, I don't know, Mr. Jones. I don't. Those are some big shoes to fill. But that was it for the Blerd News, man. So
that was some fantastic news, by the way.
That was.
Thank you.
Bravo, my friend. Bravo.
Thank you. I wish I had DC soundboard. I would have hit the claps.
Oh my god.
But that's all right, man. I'll take the accolades. That's all right. But
you better.
Hey, you know me. I'm not that humble. I am part villain now. Come on. So
I should learn from you. I need to learn from you. Everyone tells me I'm too humble, and I need to learn how to be like.
They say, "Oh, you're so nice." I'm like, give it a minute. Like when the sarcasm starts flying, it's a whole look. Before me and DC, after we did Blerd's Eye, we appeared on another show. So we were on that show, and the topic became somehow hoochie shorts came up.
Hoochie shorts.
These hoochie daddy shorts.
Yes.
Now, Montel, you've seen how me and DC rock.
Yeah, I know. I know. I can only imagine.
We had everybody in that room in tears for about 45 minutes. Because it's just like what you got. Like it's like tennis. We just throwing barbs at them and just like to the point he was just like, I'm done. And I'm like, wait.
No, you ain't. Wait. Are you lying?
And then somebody said something. I'm like, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we did.
Mm-hmm. It was only a matter of time. Give DC a chance. He'd be like, okay, I just took my foot off the gas for a second and now I'm gone.
Just for a second.
Have the thighs out. Have the thighs out.
Yeah, with the thighs.
Have the thighs out.
We're going to take this quick little commercial break and we're going to talk to our special guest, Traci Carr.
Oh, right.
Running low on energy, long days and even longer nights, tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering? Need to make it through work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all natural ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer, this product has not been approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning, this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant. Do you like your pancakes patted? Your biscuits buttered? Your cakes fluffy? Then you should get Mother Butters. I put that on everything. Pasta, veggies, rice, and everything nice. Mother Butters will get you right. Oh yeah, GMO free, and for those who are vegan, Mother Butters has a non-dairy option. That's right, there's enough Mother Butters for everyone to enjoy. Get Mother Butters from your local grocery store. Hey man! What you doing in my kitchen?
All right. Montel's seen those commercials before.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, every time I hear chocolate salty balls, I just sit there and just turn my chair like, here we go again.
So let me tell you, every time when Candy's on the show and I play the commercial, the first thing she says is like, I did not make that. I had nothing to do with that. That was these two knuckleheads. That was like before I came on the show. And I'm like, oh, Candy, don't worry. Wait till you hear the other ones we got.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I want to see them all. That was me.
I live for the chocolate salty balls and mother butters. I live for it.
So if you guys have tuned in, we have a awesome individual. Her name's Traci Carr. She's an activist. She's an actress. She's a model. She's a blerd. She's everything under the sun because it's the melanin within her skin.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Traci, tell them who you are, what you do, and let's talk about it. What's going on?
All right, I'm still working on this part, but I appreciate the introduction so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've had practice. Come on.
I know. I've had practice. I have practice. Thanks to you, Navy. Thank you so much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm an actress, activist, and I've been putting a lot of creativity into what I can do to try and hopefully make this world a better place through conversation. I like what we're doing today, what we're doing right now. I've been an activist organizing on the ground for a little bit over 2 years now. I was always on the ground protesting, being on the front lines, but it really obviously propelled itself during the George Floyd uprising. So I use all the knowledge and experience I have from that and the nerd life that I have, and I created a show called Superpower to the People.
Now, I seen the trailer for this thing, and I was sold. I was immediately sold because I'm
genius?
like, yeah, right. I'm just like,
it's genius.
That's a great name, and it fits everything. And then as I'm watching the trailer, and that the way you're talking about Batman and corruption and the corruption in reality, and I'm just like, those are the conversations I'm always having.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the conversations about X-Men and how it correlates to people of color and people of different races and nationalities and sex and religion. And and people were like, I never thought about that. I'm like, it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
There's so many tangents in comics that relate to now. And when I found out about her, it blew my mind because you don't see these discussions brought to the forefront. They're usually in someone's living room or someone's office or even in the local gaming comic store or anything like that. So to see it out here live and in living color by someone who's passionate about it and not pandering, but someone who has a genuine love and understanding and want there to be change. And that's why I said, when I told Chris, I was like, yo, you got to get Traci on here.
Yeah. And when I like the minute he told me, you seen it, the minute because he was doing the show with you at the time, and I jumped right into it. And but I was doing all my research, and I'm like, oh, I love this. Oh, I need more of this. And I'm just listening, and like you said, Montel, you hear the passion. You hear it when she's talking about it, and that's what it's all about. People will seem to miss that part of it. Traci, tell me, who did you come up with that concept for Superpower to the People?
It was. I came up with the concept after there was an unhoused camp out here in Los Angeles at Echo Park, and the amount of brutality these people had to face was just heartbreaking to see. As a community that came together during COVID, it was an unhoused community, and they had literally a community. They would have barbecue nights. They were able to give folks therapy, mental health, help them with their mental health during this time. I mean, we're all going through a pandemic. Unfortunately, financially hard for a lot of people. So this community came together to help each other. And the amount of brutality they faced during LAPD, and I was one of the folks on the front lines trying to protect their homes. Unfortunately, it was torn down. We have footage of it in the actual episode, and it's pretty heartbreaking to watch. That episode is mostly about that community there. And it was a night after that, I went home and needed to decompress from everything I saw. And I actually watched The Dark Knight, a classic.
Yes, definitely.
Indeed.
A geekdom classic. And I watched that and then went to do dishes and then just thought of the show. and I pitched it to some friends, and it was pretty funny that I called them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're still up," and I'm like, "It is 2 a.m.
So what? So what?
Terrorism doesn't sleep. What do you mean?
Out there, we're still out here,
right?
So,
This is what I dig about you, because you are walking the talk. You know, and not everybody does that. Not everybody, you know, Montel know how I am in the camp that I'm around. So it's refreshing to see other people who's out there saying, look, I'm trying to do the good work, and you need to be out here too, and still correlate it with anything in the geek world, anything in the fandom. You know, that's what I adore about it. That's what I love, and that's what I live for.
That's what I want to inspire people with, like these characters that we've grown up with. Like, if we're just gonna go with, like we just mentioned, Star Wars, like the fact that like Luke, he can be like, he's always so hopeful. He always has this spirit of like, we can do this. Like even like we look at our morals, like with Superman, everyone's like, well, Superman killed someone. It's like, yeah, but he, for the most part, he's morally good. Like he's not going to just kill someone just has to, or like, I mean, because he wants to, is because he literally has to in this situation. And like, there's ways to talk about these stories and what we're going through as activists that we can correlate to what these stories that we've been seeing of our heroes, seeing of like, of the morals that we have in front of us. So it's been interesting talking to different writers about this. Can I just give one little detail today?
Oh, please give all the detail if you want.
I was actually able to speak to one of my favorite filmmakers today. And he has a film series that was out in theaters and is now on Netflix. And it's about basically how Black people have shaped cinema, how Black people have shaped entertainment. So that's what his film is about. And I was able to other Los Angeles-based activists, and I'm just thinking the conversation between them two, and if we put that in the mix with Black Panther, because he's actually he's a British filmmaker, and Los Angeles, nice. And like just have a conversation through that. Like we can have like just different tactics, and because like every episode that we have is based on a story or a film that has to do with geekdom,
right?
So I'm constantly.
I love that. I'm seriously, I love that. I love that.
Like I would love, like that's what the panel is. If you see the trailer, my friend Adam, he's actually like a filmmaker as well, and one of my great comrades on the ground, Michael Hobson, who's sitting in the middle. I've learned so much from him. Just having that conversation between those two men about police brutality, and like, because you have someone that writes Batman comics, and you have someone that does the work when it comes to like dismantling the police. So just having that conversation there was just so rich and beautiful. So I'm hoping that we can still have those conversations going and get people energized and go on the ground and organize. And so I'm excited about this.
Go check that out. It's on the YouTube. It's called Superpower to the People. They have the trailer up, and it's a dope.
It's brilliant.
The concept is just. This is what I love about the melanin.
Yeah,
because there's something like I had a talk with two friends, my Curtin and Hellspawn, and I was saying what we see out of us putting out in the world, the positive that we're putting out in the world, and how we're not looking. Of course, we're looking to get paid, but that's like the end goal, you know. But to see the positivity that it's bringing, well, like Jasmine LaFleur, like I mentioned her earlier with Black Fayday, and to see that type of positivity, and to see people just share their work, have a contribution to it that's very positive, that that has a younger generation looking like, oh wow, I can do that too. Yes, so and to show that we out here fighting the good fight. We're out here doing what we can, bringing the masses to the light. So I guess you could say.
And I always say, whenever I do my lives, do my combos, which is why talking to Traci was something that I had to do, because we've got so many talented, beautiful, passionate people out there who are scared to show themselves. They are afraid to let their light show. So we show them that it's okay to be unique and unusual. Be a student of the Xavier School for Gifted Students. You know, be a part of that dichotomy, because you'll never let your inner power shine if you're worried about what other people are going to say about you. You got to be the one to make that step. And
Right.
listen to Tracy, and I saw the trailer. I said, my gosh, we got us another real life superhero, and I'm here for it. I know she laughed out loud when I called her that before, and I meant it. I seriously.
I was gonna say yeah, she's really it. She's out there. She is a superheroine. She's out there.
No cape, please. No cape. No cape.
No
I
capes.
Know what happens to heroes and Watchmen who wear capes? No capes, please.
I know how they got the cape, and I was just like, yeah, that's not good.
No,
Yeah, you don't be like Dollar Bill.
Oh, I'd actually thought of an episode based on Navy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I actually thought of an episode based on Navy, because we had a conversation about how when it comes to like activist work, I'm looking toward Black people, seeing like our perspective, like how can we move this country forward? How can we move the system forward? And I remember Navy always saying like it's not a victimization thing. It's because we here have a different perspective. We have a different experience.
Yes.
And when I was thinking about that, I actually thought of Justice League. I actually thought of like Young Justice. I was thinking, like, all right,
Great show, by the way. Nice plug. Great show, by the way. Great show. Great show.
Especially like the 90s version of like
Yes.
Justice League.
Facts.
Facts.
Chef's kiss all around.
So I was thinking, just based on like just this context there. You have all these gods. You have Wonder Woman, you have Martian, you have Superman, Flash. And then, but the leader for them is Batman.
Yeah,
The leader for them is Batman, who's human. And I was thinking, like, maybe that could be an allegory for privilege. Maybe it got to be an allegory for, like, you have this privilege and you need to figure out how you can show up. Because half the time, Superman is talking to Batman, like, what should we do? How can I show up for you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Batman has always been the tactician. He's the tactician of the team.
He's the tactician, and like, but based on just this context, he has his privilege when it comes to others because he has these gadgets. But when it comes to Superman, he doesn't have that much power. However, people have him on this pedestal. People have him as like this. He's the one to listen to. He's the one that is the most vulnerable compared to them, but he's always down.
Yeah.
So right. He's always
the episode where they're fighting Darkseid is a clear indication of that.
That's
He was just like, like Darkseid is like, kind of spry. You know? He's like, Superman is like, he doesn't have any powers. He's human, and his thing is he won't give up.
He won't give up. You can hear Batman say he's doing this for his planet. He's doing this for his people. And then Darkseid like knocks him out, unfortunately. But Superman walks up. He's like, "This is my friend," and he's going to fight to his dying breath. Like, so it's just like
he said, "But you, big man, when you show up, all bets are off."
Yeah.
Well.
And that's what he said to him. He was like, "You big man." I was like, "Oh, it's going down."
Yeah, and that's like, he has this whole speech of usually I hold my powers back, but now it's going down.
When you show up, I can do it all.
But
I love that episode. I love it.
But you were right about Batman because he does the allegory that I'm thinking is that he does what I've always told people to do. Accentuate your positive and push away your negative. Okay. Batman, simply put, he has no superpowers. He's not a mutant in any way, shape, or form. However, he has a brilliant mind. He has resources at his disposal. He is a brilliant hand-to-hand combatant. This man can do just about anything. Everything that he does comes nowhere near the fact that he is just a regular human in comparison to everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
He hides his weakness by accentuating his strengths, his ability to be a tactician, his ability to think 2 steps ahead. the typical villain, even have a plan in place how to take out every member of the Justice League,
including himself.
But that's the thing.
I remember conversations like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why when people show up, especially as activists, when we show up on the ground, and you have folks that are usually Black and trans, and they're usually affected by the system. Like you said, they're bringing what they know. They're bringing their knowledge. They're bringing their tactics. They're bringing. They know when it comes to how do we fix this problem from my perspective, the perspective that's should be listened to the most. So like that's something that we were working on last night, and it was completely inspired by you. And I was in a writer's room, and yeah, like I brought it up, and we were going through that for basically for like 2 hours.
Wow.
It's funny. It's funny when I created Blerd's Eye View as a safe space for people like us. And for POC creatives who, like Montel said, there are so many of us, whether they're writers, cosplayers, artists, seamstress. I can't tell you how many seamstress been on the show. Vampy Snow, Kiwi Ninamori, Chris Dixon,
Kiwi.
Mr. Tetris. Like, these people are freaking amazing at what they do. Building stuff. And Kiwi alone, good Lord.
She is so freaking talented, and she's so tiny.
She is.
Oh
and I can't wait to see her. I can't wait to meet her. And it's just, they needed a voice. They needed a voice. They needed a platform. It's great to be on social media, but when you're in the Blerd community and you have the ability to say, hey, come on the show. This is a safe space. You can speak your mind. You can do whatever you need to do. And you can talk about what it is you have going that you're trying to put out in the world to help, to put forward, whatever the case may be. And Montel knows. He was like, my door is always open.
Facts.
My door stays open. It's just like, look, I'm like, my wife said it. How did she say it? She said, she said I was like Luke Cage, and I'm like, what do you mean? You actually paid attention? And she's like,
oh, you gonna be in trouble, man.
Well, see, that's my sarcasm, but because what did they always do with Luke? They always came when it was a problem. They came to Luke every time. It was a problem. So you're like, hey, Luke, these people over here keep robbing this store. All right. Let me go out here.
Yeah.
Let me go handle this, And that was the thing. I'm like, okay, I can take that. I'm cool with that, because that's the thing. I've had people reach out, hey man, I got this. Come on. Just come on, I got you. Whether it's music and movies, whatever. You're Blerd, come on. This door is open. So when Montel told me about you, I'm like, only need to see the first few minutes of the show, and I'm like, let me go handle my business. Let me go take care of this and get her on here. So you obviously have an affinity, a love for Justice League. What other comics are you reading?
So Justice League, I'm really into everything Marvel. Everything Marvel. I'm obsessed with Marvel.
Would never have guessed. Not in a million years. Where
only a tiny bit.
Where did we get that inclination from, huh?
I need to get back into the comics, but for now, because one of our guests actually that I have on for future shows is actually the newest writer for Captain America and Falcon. Yeah, I'm actually in touch with him to be on an episode.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
We talking about Sam Wilson, Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's what I was making sure. That was making sure.
That is the cover.
Yes.
With Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly.
Yes. I got mine in the box, so I'm happy to.
That's when Montel see me reach, he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's on."
I already know.
It's on the ready. It's on the ready.
I know how this story goes.
Like I get Cap, X-Men, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and the Avengers.
Yes.
And every time I get those books, Black Panther gets read first, Cap gets read first.
This man knows priority.
You're right. I mean, look over. I mean, it's right over my shoulder over here. It's right there. You know, you can see the rest of my. If you've seen the rest of my office, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, he is the Panther." So
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Yeah.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, look, I got 2 Panther helmets. One of them was the first one I made. And so,
man, see, now he's being a show off. I'm putting it
right. Yeah, it won't fit over this big head now. Like you know how Red Guardian was in Black Widow. He was just like, oh,
yes, oh my gosh.
I'm sitting up there, it's like this.
I felt so bad for him in that movie.
Every guy was just like, yeah, we know what that feels like. Never mind.
Trust me, it'll still fit.
Right. So Traci, who is your favorite hero in Marvel? But then, better yet, who is your favorite villain?
See, Chris always asks the amazing questions. See,
it's so hard for me to narrow it down. But I always love the joke like Voltron is like the best villain because he spent 5. Y'all done.
Oh, so you're an Ultron. Oh, she's an Ultron stan. Okay.
Yeah, that joke is perfect. On the internet. Oh no, y'all. I don't like these people.
I don't like the interwebs. Wait, what?
I don't like the internet. Like, we need to fix
oh my god.
I am the physical embodiment of what you.
Mine is always been Lex and Doom.
That's some good ones.
Yeah, Doom just has this. It's not even the arrogance. It's just like, Doom, you're smart. Like, you're smart. Like, if it wasn't for your arrogance, you'd definitely be.
Yeah, but I mean, that's most people though. Like, that's most people like their own way. They're just like, why you can do so much better. What are you doing?
Like, I mean, when you take over the Earth and then you can rip Thanos' spine out because you're God Doom, all of a sudden, it's just like,
yeah, you won't be needing that.
Yeah. You know, my thing with Lex is like Lex is like the Teflon Don.
That's true.
Just this. He's just like the Teflon Don. Like, so here goes Superman. Lex, I know you're behind it. And he's just like, whatever do you mean? I can't be responsible for every employee that works for LexCorp. I mean, you're just sitting back like, he's got to kind of have a point there.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, I get misdirection is a really good thing, isn't it? So he's good at that, you know.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it is. He is pretty iconic. And Zod, at least the Zod that we have on Young Justice, that guy.
Yeah.
And for the people that's listening, Zod's a brother. Oh yeah. His son is a brother. I'm just like,
ain't no playing around with that.
Yeah.
Ain't no playing around with that. Who's your daddy?
For some reason, I'm rocking with this right now, and I'm gonna. It's something about this. It's he got a certain swag to him, and I'm like, you're like a level of pimp because it shows. It's just right there. It's what you do, and it's like, oh, you got all these folks just bowing to you, like off a speech. Mm-hmm. My guy.
Literally hear Return of the Mac playing as he's walking in.
Right. Just like, okay.
Who that?
So how did you get into your activism?
I've been into it since I was in high school. I was like the end of high school where like Occupy was kind of like dwindling down. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was still trying to like figure out how to get involved with that. And unfortunately, Trayvon Martin, he should still be here. I got involved with like marching through that and just kept up with it. That was when I was like younger and I kept trying to find like my place into activism. But I definitely know that when everything happened with, because I have several pictures of me with signs since I was younger. I've always been into politics. Like I admit, my first crush was like Stephen Colbert because like politics.
Perfect balance of comedy and and being extremely smart. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like I grew up just like watching shows like that. So that was like my main
smart comedy.
Smart comedy. Yes.
Yeah. Smarmity. Yeah.
Smarmity.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert. What's his name? Yeah, Jon Stewart, Trevor Noah, George Carlin.
Oh yes,
documentary of George Carlin. It's fantastic.
Bill Maher.
When you went Bill Maher, yeah, from time to time, Bill Maher. When you see George Carlin stand up, and you realize how relevant it still is, it's still scary. You're just like, this man is long gone, and he's right, and it's just.
He was hitting the nail on the head before people were swinging the hammer, and he saw the writing on the wall in advance.
Yeah,
but you have too many people out here who don't want to listen. They want to stay in their own little personal utopia, whatever it might be. But you're not allowing the world to go on because it doesn't fit your ideals. So you're going to try and stop everything. You want it to keep it as is. Sorry,
I'm taking my ball and going home. Well, guess what? We'll just play a new game.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm sorry to segue back to this. But that's another reason why I really the show goes places, because I just feel that need that people have this multicultural like events, like the storytelling that we all connect to. And I just feel like there's such a way to speak about what's happening in the world without it being like too scary, because we know these characters, we know these storylines, we know these plot lines. And it's easier to understand like what we can do as a solution if we talk through this lens of, hey, you're safe, you're here, we hear you. Like, you know, these stories can relate to this. Like, so like that's why I'm just so passionate about this, because it's like I want people to learn how to organize and like what their specialty is. Like, you know, let's become our own Avengers. Like, let's figure out like what you're doing. Like, are you good with outreach? That's your part. That's your Avenger part.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's your Avenger part. You can say a symbol. It'll be great.
Like,
this is your part. Let's all do this. And like the more we talk about it, the more we're not afraid to speak about these issues and like to go forward with it. That's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm like, yeah, I want to hear people like, yo,
it's amazing. It's amazing what you're putting out in as like DC say, what you're putting out and what I'm putting down.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. No.
And this is a powerful message with a simple solution. And I gotta ask you, like, so I asked you your favorite villain. Who do you feel like is a hero? What hero do you feel like you've looked up to that's had an influence on in your activism for superpower to the people, for the action you've taken, for being in politics, like, you know, being and paying attention to such politics?
Her eyes are going everywhere right now. I'm watching body language. He's asking a question. I'm going, how is she going to get out of this one, master? What will it?
You sound like Sherlock Holmes was like, if I think in a hit to the solar plexus and then
a simple
counter with the elbow to the knuckles, and, you know.
That's a brilliant question. Honestly, the first one that I was thinking about was like Cap. I was thinking of Captain America, like the trajectory of his arc, of how just like you first see him, he's like sacrificing himself on the grenade. And he's like just like little like in those reference in terms, the skinny kid that like jumps on it, and like, oh, this guy, he has the courage. Like everyone else ran, but also he was always like a conflicted character. I'm just going through the movies just so folks haven't read the comics and such. Because even with Civil War, he's like he's basically the only one that read it. He's like, did anybody else read this?
Yeah. He's like, we're not signing that.
Yeah,
We're not signing that.
yeah, like we're not signing. Can someone else read this with me, please?
Is this your copy? Woo! There you
Yeah,
go.
like, come on now.
Go get it.
I always like gravitate towards the characters that always want to do good, even if it's not popular or like to everyone else. But they know in the long run, it's like morally correct.
They are the unintended underdogs, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So
Yeah, Cap. Mine is Cap, Panther, and Spider-Man.
Beautiful.
It's they're always the three. It's always those three because it's always those 3 because just what you said about Cap, and then for me, on top of that, Cap accentuates what this country should really be the model of. He's that model, and Black Panther is the model of what I've seen our people be capable of. And then Spider-Man is literally that. He's every person who has struggled to pay their rent, who has struggled to keep a job, who has struggled to talk to that guy or girl, who has struggled in school, who's probably been an orphan for one reason or another, or lost a loved one. And yet, despite every obstacle, he fights through it. He just, I've quoted it before where I've read the god awful Clone Saga from back in the 90s. And this
I will pray for you, my son. I will pray for you.
But the panels that stood out to me, because this is when he was married to Mary Jane and she was pregnant at the time. And the part that stood out to me was he was fighting hundreds of clones, including Kane and the Jackal. He had a broken ankle. He was low on web fluid. He's fighting off clones, and yet the only thing his inner monologue was, I just got a call from Mary Jane. She's in the hospital going into labor. I got to get to my wife.
And that was all that mattered to him. That was his mantra.
Everything else was literally autopilot. This man was on full autopilot. And his focus was get to the wife and the kid. Everything else, every punch he threw, kick he was throwing, autopilot. Like he numbed it out. Like it was just, and that's what and he's had moments like this throughout different arcs where he's just, despite everything, despite where it looks the worst, that one panel where he's picking up, and they played it in Homecoming. It was a similar scene in Homecoming when he has basically the entire building was on top of him.
Yeah.
And he's pushing it up, and if he cracked for a minute because he's just a kid, and he sees himself and he sees that part of the mask, and he's like, I can do this. I can do this. I gotta stop. My friends are in trouble. I can do this, and that's what I've loved that about him. Like despite it all.
Yeah, that's definitely Spider-Man is one of my favorites, and Black Panther. We do have an episode based on Black Panther as well. I have a few episodes that's based on Black Panther, honestly.
It takes a few episodes to talk about that, brother.
Talk about that. Like, so I always think of like when it comes to especially Black Panther and Killmonger, like I always think of it as like a diversity of tactics type of thing. They're both right. They're both right in their own way. So, like I never wanted to discount what Killmonger was fighting for. So I always think of like when we have an episode like that and who we're going to pair it with, we want to talk about it as like, honestly, he's not that much of a villain. We're just going to talk about him as like, like some people want to do this way, and some people want to go harder. So let's talk about this. Like some people got that Molotov.
Is this yours? Is this yours? Here.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that's how I want to frame it. So that's one of the topics we were talking about as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm always annoying my friends because I'm in the middle of something and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this turkey up for everybody. Next thing you know, I'm just standing there and they're just like, you okay? And I'm like, oh, I just thought of a topic. Like I'm just standing there being awkward and they're just like, you okay over there? Just like, yeah,
he's holding the fork and knife in the air, looking like
staring off. Tracy's staring off again. Oh boy.
Y'all hungry? No, we're worrying about you. What the hell was that?
So yeah, I'm really I apologize to my friends. I know it's all.
So just like you get that one person, she's got the knife in the fork. You're like, why is your friend standing there? Like, she's okay, she's fine. Don't. It's not what you're thinking. It's just not.
I you know what? I guess I'll chime in on this question too, since y'all give these magnificent answers. Hero for me is Isaiah Bradley, because Isaiah illustrates, and he is the embodiment of being put in a position you have no control over, still determined to do the right thing, still have a moral code. And even when you come back and still fulfill whatever it is, they still want to put you down. And ironically, that's what we're going through now today as melanated people, because we're going to try and make the best of a situation. But the minute we lash out, now we become an enemy. Now we become the adversary. We become the villain, i.e. Killmonger. There's nothing wrong with how he feels.
No, it's nothing.
It's just the execution.
That's what it was.
So, and with Isaiah, this man did what the army told him. They took him and put him through an experiment that they had no idea, because of course you have to build the perfect super soldier, i.e. Captain America. So who else did you have experiment? The Tuskegee experiments. So, and that whole story, I read Justice, and I just sat there. I was like, wow. In its simplicity, there's so many layers that apply to now, to being subjugated, being told that you'll never amount to anything, but you're still told that you can't be lazy. You can't be the better part of something because someone superior to you says that is not the case. Just because, okay, you're okay. If you don't have melanin, that's not my fault. Okay, but guess what? This is who I am. King tried to kill Hitler, didn't work, came back. They court-martialed him, kicked him out, still had the super soldier serum. And when you see, and that's why I always loved when Steve met Isaiah and found out the real story behind it. He didn't know what to do with himself.
Right.
He did not know what to do with himself. So if you look like they did on Falcon and Winter Soldier, when Bucky found out about it, and when Sam found out about Isaiah, wait, what? Yeah,
that story he tells played perfectly by Carl Lumley. But when he tells that story, the tear that came from my eye, I'm just like,
I had tears. I had chills the whole time. They should have. Honestly, he needed even more of a story. He needed more. Like, honestly, I know they had 6 episodes because of COVID and such, but I was like, y'all need to just do a series based on this.
Yeah. You talk about decompressing after that episode. I'm just like, I need a minute. Jesus. This is.
I pulled out my bottle of wine and said, okay, we need to think about this. Hold on.
I'm sitting there. I'm watching, because at the time I was going to work at like 6 a.m. So I still had time to watch it while I was sitting in the parking deck. And I'm sitting there watching it and then going to work just like, why am I here? Why am I here? This is ridiculous. Why don't you go? Look, don't talk to me. So yeah, seeing that him telling that story, just and then when Sam gives the speech.
Oh my gosh, that speech.
And then at the end when he takes him to the museum, which, by the way, that was supposed to be the same museum that was shot for, what was it, Captain America Winter Soldier?
Yes.
I think it was supposed to be, which was shot here. That scene that movie was shot here in Cleveland. So and that building is was one of the VA buildings that's the main campus. And when I say he showed him that statue, and I was just like, I was a whole ass woman. I'm not gonna,
bro.
I was sitting up there like,
when I tell you, I had to go get my blanket, and I had to get my wine and be like, I'm feeling it, because it resonated with you. And I think that scene, out of everyone that I've seen out of all of the Marvel series, was the one that made me the most emotional.
Yeah,
because I felt it. This was literally recognition, which is what all melanated creators are looking for. This is what people are looking for, period. Just to be recognized, not for doing something magnificent, but just being.
Yeah.
For just being.
Like, just writing great stories, shooting great films, just telling great stories, creating great costumes, and doing great work in the community. That's, we're not asking for the world. We're just telling the world, like, hey, quit ignoring us.
Thank you.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the whole purpose. Like, we're not, when somebody said the other day, like, what would I'm like, look, do you realize that about literally 90% of the stuff that you use every day, melanin, walk away.
Like, wait, what? Oh yeah, that elevator that you ride in.
Yeah,
black man.
That hockey game you be watching.
Black man. You know, Eric, that AC you've been using in the refrigerator and all that other stuff. Think about it. Oh, it's so hot. Go use the AC. You wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for me.
So we would have invented it eventually.
All the history, we are the culture. Like culture will not move without us.
Right. I think this is why critical race theory, which is just another name for it's just another name for history. That's all it is. That's just the legal name they use for in law schools, because they've been teaching that in law schools forever. That's all it is. That's why it's called critical race theory. That's a legal term. And all it is history, actual history. And when you see people actually combating it, like in certain television shows and sitcoms and everything else, and we don't want our kids to. What don't you want your kids to know? Just be honest with yourself. You know.
Yep. Every wide mouth sycophant I see out there, all they want to do is holler and scream that we're not racist, and yet you're screaming louder than the people who truly aren't racist to convince us that you aren't racist.
Right.
If you're not worried about that, let the story be told.
Honestly, we were taught this more because, like, I was going to mention, like, so many times during the George Floyd uprising, when I would talk to folks about, like, when Bill of Rights was passed. Oh yeah, after the speech, right? And I was just like, excuse me? you mean the speech? What speech? They're like, well, speech, right? And I was like, no, you mean years later?
Wow.
And like there was a riot for days. That's what it actually passed.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know that.
They didn't, like, between that and like Watchmen. Watchmen was probably the first show.
Such a good narrative.
Yeah. When they actually touched on the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing massacre. That's what it was. It was a massacre. And I'm like, I knew about it, but I was amazed that it was a show that was actually going to talk about it. And then Lovecraft Country went into it even more. And I'm like, yo,
I love how they dedicated an entire episode to just that.
To that. And it amazed me because there were people much older than me who had no clue. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I knew about it and I was just like, I was kind of like speechless too. I was like, wait, y'all didn't know about this? But at the same time, like, so many things that they don't know about our history. They don't know about Wall Street. They don't know what Times Square, I believe it is in New York. They don't know what that was before it was time. So there's
Central Park. There's certain man-made lakes in the country.
I was about to say that there are so many man-made bodies of water that used to be towns of Black people, successful towns of Black people. But you don't hear about that because history is written, history is written by the winners.
Yeah. Quote unquote.
Yeah, I don't think quote. They ain't nothing.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that bull hama. I don't believe all that bull hama.
But yeah, but it amazes me that so much of that history, and one thing I will say, especially since December 21st of last year, which was supposed to be our awakening, that there actually has been an awakening. Some people were thinking like, we're gonna get superpowers. I'm like, let me tell you something. We already had that. we really already had that. But now what's happening now is like the truth is literally coming to the light. It's like you can't hide any of it anymore. You can't. There's way too much information. There's way too much access. Like they're just like, we thought we burned those pages. Well, guess what? Someone else wrote it, and it's here. Somebody
now. There's also now there's more of a thirst and a hunger for history. What really happened? People are not going to sit behind the blinds and expect it to be told to you truthfully, because that bull went through the china shop and went across the street to the glass shop and went up the street. Just forget it.
I remember learning about the Native Americans in first grade, right? And then they taught us Christopher Columbus later on that year and how he discovered it. I'm just a 6-year-old kid, and I'm just like,
blatant lie.
How?
A blatant lie.
Wait a minute. If they were here already, how can you discover it? I got in trouble.
I was in 4th grade. I'll never forget this. A friend of mine named Brian Payne, and this is when Brian and I became friends, because our teacher was actually talking about Christopher Columbus, and he stood up. I remember he said, that's not true.
See, he said it a nice way. I was a 6-year-old kid, and I was like, that's a lie.
I mean, he's 9 years old.
I got in trouble.
I mean, he's 9 years old. He's like, it's not true. What do you mean it's not true? The Indians were here before he got here. He got lost. This was not where he was supposed to go. And the kids looked at him, and I just started smiling. I said, my grandmother told me this. So I'm just looking down at my desk, and I'm smiling. Because I'm like, no one's telling him to sit down and go to the principal's office. He didn't get in trouble. His mom came to the school and said, if y'all would teach it the right way, then my son wouldn't have to tell you how to do it the right way. I was like,
yeah, my son did the same thing.
I want my children to be that way. Just saying.
I'm just like, he get it from his father. He picked it out. He was like, the kids are not stupid. Neither is his father. And I looked at him, I'm like, you did nothing wrong, kid.
No,
just let me put on this face real quick.
That's how you gotta play it. That's how you gotta play it. Like I don't have any kids, and I don't have a partner at the moment. Knock on wood. There's people.
I hope that was wood you knocked on. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel some kind of way.
I did.
Like, what was that knocking sound? That was Formica.
But I would just say, like, if I get called to the principal office and they're just like, "Well, your kid said this about Christopher Columbus," I'm gonna be like, "Well, they ain't wrong,
right?
Wrong. Like, what do you want me to do? Discipline this? This is the truth."
That's exactly how my mother did it. She was just like, "You're not wrong."
Yeah.
but
you can't say the teacher's a liar. And I'm like,
I mean,
she lied. I'd get in trouble if it was me.
I lie. I get in trouble. Why she not getting in trouble for lying?
Right. I was like, y'all taught me this morality thing. Come on. You sat me in front of the TV and watched Lone Ranger, Zorro, Smokey and the Bandit, Batman, and everything else. And now I'm wrong.
I know. Like, come on, man. Like, what do you want me? What do you want from me? I'm sick.
I'm going by what I'm told. Okay, I'm just doing what my mama told me. They're gonna beat you. No, they ain't, because they're the ones that told me.
Right.
Yeah,
So Tracy, now you also do a little bit of acting as well. Have you? Is this something you just started, or are you? Where can we find?
Oh yeah, I've been an actor for a while now. I've only done like I've done bits and pieces there. I've seen commercials and such. I was in a web series, and I have a few short films out there. I'm getting killed in Birdemic 2. I got birds hitting me. So yeah, I have a few things out there that I'm very proud of.
Okay. What Martell, what are you trying to say?
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I see that. He was just like,
Because the first thing that came up in my head is Alfred Hitchcock is probably laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah, no, yeah. You'll see me. You see that. So yeah.
Make it happen. Hey, make it happen.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Winnie the Pooh with blood and honey, I don't
We
care.
are not going to talk about that. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I'm not ready for that. Okay.
I'm not, and now I'm curious.
There are a lot of cats that are gonna be dead that weekend. That's for sure.
Oh my god!
Well, actually, just for a spec for Star Trek. So
yes,
let's see how that goes.
Oh
yeah!
Come on now. I love it when they had when Michael Burnham. Let's go. Discovery is still my joint.
Here's the thing. And I told Hellspawn this because Hellspawn is a big Star Trek fan, right? I'm the Star Wars nut. But that's only because, and don't get me wrong, I love both of them now. I was introduced to Star Wars way before Star Trek. So when my grandmother, who didn't know any better, she was like, "Oh, Star Wars is on TV." And I'm like, "It is?" And I go to watch it and I'm like, I don't see Luke. I don't see Leia. I don't see lightsabers. I don't see anything.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is this? And that's when my great grandma, she was like, that's Star Trek. I'm like, that's not Star Wars. You know, I was ruined at a young age. But when I got older and actually watched like The Next Generation, I had I have like, oh, I like this, you know, but it was so far along in its seasons that I just could never, you know, catch up to it.
Right.
So I heard everybody talking about Picard. You know, I like Patrick Stewart. So I said, let's check this out. Oh my God. I was floored. I'm like, I've been missing this. So now I'm watching that, and then I'm getting ready to check out Discovery and Different Worlds and or Strange Worlds
Nine.
and Deep Space Nine. Yes,
I'm a Cisco man to my heart. I'm sorry.
Yo,
nothing against Captain James T. Kirk and
you got nothing on
Jean-Luc Picard, but Cisco. This man was literally the leader of a space. He was literally the captain of a space station. They're zooming all over the place. He's like, nah, they're coming to me. What the furl? Let's fix this. Okay. Y'all get to run from it. But guess what? But that's also, but think about but look at the metaphor for that too. It goes to what we're dealing with as well. You zoom over here and something goes wrong. You zoom over here. I, as a black man, we got to stand our ground. We don't have the luxury of moving. We got to fix it right where we are because this is where we're at.
And he did it with such grace.
Man, come on.
And when I can't remember what episode he did it, but I didn't get to catch the full episode, but something major had happened. And, you know, as a captain, he does the Stardate record at the end of the episode. So he's doing the Stardate record, and the computer's asking him, does he want to save it and put it in the archive? And after he did the whole record, he was like, erase it. Sat back with us. I'm like, yo, that was gangster as hell.
It's only, I mean, what do you expect from us?
He sat back, not only that, he sat back and had, I think it was a glass of wine or something. He sat back, he said, delete.
He had a glass of scotch. He had a glass.
That's Kanye.
That's literally.
I'm like, yo, gangster. You the man.
That's why out of all of them, I love, and I think all of the Star Treks that I like are the ones where you don't have the standard tropes of a crew.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You got Cisco of Deep Space Nine. You had Janeway of Voyager. You got Michael Burnham of Discovery. I like those because the main protagonist doesn't fit the standard mold. Yeah. It is a person of color. So as people of color, we're going to see things a little differently. We're going to look at it from a different aspect. We're going to bring things a little more into focus because we already know that we don't belong technically. So now we got to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to our creatives now. And that's why I love Traci, because you have so many creatives out here who don't have the opportunity and have to think outside the box just to be perceived, to be acknowledged, to be seen, just so that their
but
message
that's
can
all,
get out.
and the thing is, that's our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's our DNA. Like, we have managed to always. They say, "Oh man, that guy's brilliant." No, that's just who they are.
That part.
That's just who they are. Like, when we can take, perfect example, BIPOC Day, BIPOC Vamp Day, Black Faye Day, Black Mermaid. When we can take one thing, and shout out to Jasmine LaFleur, because she's already put up for next Faye Day what the theme is, and it said Royals, and I'm like,
Ooh.
y'all about to fuck this up.
That.
Y'all about to tear this
I'm
up.
already set for next year because I missed it this year. I'll be damn. Me too. I'm gonna be ready for next year.
On this. Oh man.
You already got the prime qualification. You're lovely.
Yeah.
You're lovely. Yeah. You already got that.
That's all. That's all. That's it. You're that check mark. You're in. Let's go. And so yeah, because I didn't get to do it. I didn't get to do it because I'm doing like 3 or 4 shows at a time. So I said next year, and when she said she just announced it today, I believe, and it said she's like, the theme for next year is Royals, and I'm like, do you know what you've just unleashed? You must, because you already know.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh man, you thought this year was like, there were people. There was a group. One of them is I am Aurora. That's her IG tag. I am Aurora. I know who
she is. I know who she is. Brilliant.
But her and 3 other people, the Enigma cosplay and 2 other gentlemen, they did these fays, and they were in white and yellow, but it was supposed to be white and gold, right? One was like a Fey pirate,
black and blue,
and one was like a Fey warrior, and then it was I am Aurora. She was like this Fey queen, and I'm like, this is screaming anime to me, and I need to see this right now. So, and like, it was absolutely amazing. But next year, I need to start getting work on that this weekend. So
you should do an episode where we're all dressed in our Faye Day regalia.
Well, see, now what I did earlier this week, what I did Tuesday was I did a 2-part video for all the ones that I showcased.
It's brilliant too.
For the month. You know what, Traci? Here, I'm gonna play it now. Let me play it now.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up. All right, here we go. next year is gonna be a doozy. I'll tell you,
man. let me tell you, seeing my family doing it every time someone popped up that I knew, I just felt proud.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and seeing Aurora,
Tracy's face when she seen some of those ones pop up, her face was like, I'm like, yeah, that was the look. That was, I live for those kind of reactions because that just told me, I'm like, we did our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was following folks too. If you saw me pick up my phone, I was like, "What's their name? I'm gonna follow them right now."
Yeah. Like if you know, you following us, if you follow the YouTube page or if you following me on Facebook or IG, I threw all of them. Like wherever I was sharing it, they all the socials got it. All the socials got it, and I was overwhelmed, but it was a good overwhelm, if that makes sense. Because I was just like, I'm sharing somebody every other day. And I think when I was done, and that's not even all of them, I think when I was done, I think I had like 42 people that I've shared. Just kind of putting their stuff out there, like going to their page. I'm like, oh, you got a new follower.
Scratching the surface. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many others who showed out for Black Fae Day and made it a focal point of pride. And it's family. There's no other way to put it. It's family.
Family, yeah.
Yeah, I just say how beautiful our people are. Oh my God, I was about to cry about how beautiful everyone.
I'm not, you know, and I'm not racist. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. If you at me, just get what you're gonna get. Black folk do the shit better than anyone. Black folk do it better than anyone.
Like I said, that group of I am a Roro and her crew.
Oh, I love her.
I swear, like I said, I like when I seen that one, all I could say was, I need an anime. I needed anime. I need Fae pirates. I need all of that.
Aurora will be at Dragon Con, and I will be seeing her again. And
I will be seeing you at Blerd Con.
Blerd, yes. Trying to get Tracy over there.
I'm trying to
get Tracy over there.
I'm trying to. I gotta get. Matter of fact, when I go to work tomorrow, because I gotta print off my ticket. You know, my thing.
Your pass.
Yeah, my pass. I gotta print that off. So I'm buying my ticket probably tomorrow, and just. But I gotta find out if Orlando Jones is included in the
VIP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have to buy that separate.
No.
It's a done deal. That because I almost went and bought the VIP and that one, and I'm like, no, I gotta find out first. So
no, see, you buy that one and be like, you seem like you're down. Here, go say hi to Orlando Jones. There you go. Why are you crying? There's no crying at BlerdCon. Why are you crying? Get up.
I've been trying to catch that brother for a couple. Yeah, so. Tracy,
I'm on a suit hunt too.
It is an absolute joy talking to you. Thank you for coming on here and talking about your work. I commend you. I applaud you. And I'm going to steal a line from Montel. I'm giving you your flowers now.
I really appreciate
Continue this work. My door is always open. Just drop me a line. You want to come on? The door is open.
Yes.
The floor is yours. I will make a way for you.
Thank you.
So,
I feel like some good news keeps coming out because we're definitely aiming for some pretty good places for this to land.
Good.
So,
very good.
Yeah. So we're in talks with a few good production companies. So. Hopefully,
so I'm gonna put Tracy in my pocket right here.
So
where you going? I'm going to LA. I gotta get out here.
I would love to meet all of you. I know I'm meeting Navy at San Diego Comic Con. Like,
ooh, I'm so jealous.
She has
you
threatened me.
and Hellspawn. Hellspawn got a press pass. I'm like, God dog it.
And you know what? That's fine. I got a retailer's badge. That means I'm talking to all the retailers. I don't even care. But I know one thing he won't. I'll be having lunch and froyo with Tracy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you what, next year, because see, I had to get BlerdCon out the way. I'm like, I gotta get the BlerdCon. Everybody I know is at BlerdCon.
We got to get you there somehow, Tracy. We got to get you there because
I'm so down to go. I'm gonna free up my schedule. It's just do. Like,
the only I had to text Kurt. I'm like, I'm not gonna be at HNIC Con. I got another event I gotta do. It's the same.
I know he was. I know he's like.
I was like, I told him, I'm like, fam, I was trying to get there. I had the hotel reserved.
You see the disdain on his face, Tracy. The whole disdain on his face right now. He's like
disappointment. I'm just like, I done told the cousins I was coming and I can't make it.
I was looking at like, how much are flights?
Believe me.
For a second, I was just like,
believe me, that grip gets bigger. Dear Lord, that grip gets bigger.
Don't it? I'm just like, that's why I was like, do I gotta buy the ticket too? And he was like, no, because I forgot you always work it somehow. And I'm like, yes. Very well.
Sorry, I'm all the way in Los Angeles, so I gotta get like by the flight, figure out where to stay.
We got a plan. We got to get something together. We can get you here or come out there to you. Definitely come out to you.
Oh, I'd love to come out there to you.
Yeah. It's definitely come
because there's nothing here in Cleveland. It's cold.
No, I'm sure there is. We can get you out here, but like, I mean, I would love to have y'all here even when we premiere the show, because like we do have the trailer we have. It's part of a 30-minute episode. So it'd be great to like have like maybe just a party or like a red carpet event where we can premiere the episode. It'd be great to just have you on as guests. Oh my gosh.
Like, drop me a line, and I'm sure Montel will do the same.
You don't have to say it twice. Okay?
That I would love to have on the panel. These are the minds that I would love to have in these conversations, because I always feel that creatives have a responsibility, especially today. If you're putting things out in entertainment, you should know like people are consuming this for either hope, education, and just to know like what they can do in this world. So it's always great to have these conversations, and then maybe just having one conversation can inspire someone to be better, and inspire someone to do more work, and inspire someone to feel good about themselves. So that's what we're creating here, and I feel that just having this conversation with you two. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. Tell everybody where they can find you.
At Crazy Carr 77 on Instagram. Please check it out. If you look at my bio, you can see an article from Shout Out LA that details what the show's about.
It's a dope article.
Yeah, thank you so much. It tells you where the show came from, the heart of the show, and it also includes the trailer. So if you read the article, the trailer's in there, and I hope some folks can read the article, check out the trailer, and feel free to DM me and tell me what you think.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you now, I loved it. Montel, you know what it is. Where can they find you?
It's quite simple. If you want to talk with me, chat with me, or just maybe throw virtual eggs at me, you can reach me at Maybe Montel. Maybe Montel under Instagram, also on Twitter, but you can also find me on Twitch. And I am back on YouTube with a new series called Now That Everybody's Gone. It is a series. So I get to review everything that had so much fanfare that everybody and their mama was trying to review it, but now they've focused on something. I said, now it's my turn to talk about it.
I like that.
That's so good because it's spoiler free. Like you gave people a lot of time to watch it, you know?
Yep.
That's a lot.
I want my clout. Man. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. I see what you have to say about mom.
All right. For everybody who's listening to the show or watching it, once this is already live, but once you can get the podcast, shout out to Villainous Beats for our new not intro, but like our wait music, you know, to kind of guide everybody in. I seen Tracy, she was really getting into it, and Montel was like, where are they finding these wonderful beats?
I don't need you looking at me while I'm talking to myself. I don't need that. Make me look crazy. The heck wrong with
but check out Villainous Beats. Check him out, give him support. He's actually one of the people who are putting together the Night Skin soundtrack. So he's always doing Night Skin Saturdays where he drops a new track for the Night Skins. And as usual, I'm the voice of the Night Skins, and I gotta get some more content up for that to keep the army raised and happy. But in the meantime, you can catch if you go to Blerd's Eye View on IG and follow us there, show their support. You can go to it'll have the link tree there, which is that right there, and it sends you to all the socials that I'm attached to, including my personal IG. But until then, like we do with every show where we talk to blerds like us that only we can, I want to thank our guest Traci Carr, and an awesome individual, awesome person, a awesome woman. Just she's every woman.
I appreciate all these kind words. Thank you so much.
What you're doing out there is good work, and it'll come back to you tenfold and just as positive as a way, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Montel, always a pleasure having you come on, brother. You already know. All you got to do is hit the phone. It's like the bat signal. Hence the sign on for the show. It's like the bat signal. Put it up. We're calling you. We got you. We got you.
I got you.
So, but tune in next Tuesday for our season finale. We're gonna have Jasmine LaFleur come on. We're going to be talking about Black Fae Day and what she has planned and how you can help support, and some other geek and blurdy news. But until then, as I always finish the show, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. And until then, this is Chris Fury, your man on the wall, with our guest, Traci Carr, and guest host, Navy Montel. And until next time, I'll see you later.